What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Beth and I make all kinds of motherhood and lifestyle videos here on YouTube. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything that my 1-year-old is getting for Christmas this year, as well as some Montessori and Waldorf education inspired gifts for a 1-year-old to 2-year-old in your life. So I would say that if you have a child or know a child that kind of falls between the 12 to 24 month-ish range, that a lot of the toys in this video are going to be really great gift options for them. Essentially, when I purchase toys for my kids, I try and have them match up with one of those two schools of thought for education, so Montessori inspired or Waldorf inspired toys. And I would say that they're very similar in the way that they both incorporate natural materials and are very much rooted in the environment and focus on educating kind of a whole child. But I would say Montessori is a lot more academic focused, more like fine motor skills and real life kind of experience, whereas Waldorf is a lot more pretend play and imagination and how all of that fits kind of into a child's education as well. So I like to incorporate both schools of thought, and all of these toys definitely fit into one of those two categories. I am not going to be showing you guys all the gifts physically. Some of them are still in the mail, some of them are already wrapped, so I'm not going to unwrap them for you. I'm going to put pictures of everything here so you can get a visual reference, and then I will link as many things as possible in the description box as well if there is something that you want to check out for yourself. Okay, so diving into the list, I'm going to start with everything that Vivian is getting and then give you guys some just gift ideas of things that have been really incredible for us, and then follow it up at the end with a couple of stocking stuffer options for kids in this age range. Our daughter Vivian will be 18 months at the time that Christmas comes, so we have definitely focused a lot on Montessori inspired toys and principles up until this point. I feel like this is the first time now that we're introducing a lot more of those Waldorf and pretend play inspired toys into kind of the rotation. That being said, one of the first gifts that I got for her was this plate and cup set from a brand called Cocoa Village. I love that it's just wooden, it's simple, it's natural materials, there's nothing about it that is flashy, and it will really allow her to be imaginative with what she's doing in her pretend kitchen. She is missing right now the plates and the cutlery set to be able to actually serve us some of those delicious pretend meals that she is making, so that is the first gift that she is getting. These next two gifts are very much also in the pretend play world, but first because we noticed that they were kind of being inspired out of real world activities, and that is a wooden play construction set as well as a wooden makeup bag set, also from Cocoa Village. So because we are renovating our basement right now, my husband Jared often has his tool bag just kind of up and around in the house, which has a hammer and just different tools in it that Vivian is very much interested in exploring, but that's not necessarily the safest route. So we have chosen to get her and our son a play construction, just like wooden set that they can use for pretend play. But I also noticed that she is very interested in my makeup bag right now. So oftentimes if I'm getting ready during the day, she'll come and sit beside me and it'll just be like a moment that we share together. But she will pull every single thing out of my makeup bag and just be so curious to see what all of it is. And so I wanted to get her a little wooden makeup bag so that when I am doing my makeup and getting ready in the morning, she can have her own little bag too, and we can have that just be something that is a fun thing that we can both partake in together. So those are two other pretend play gifts that we got for them this year. This next gift is the last one that we purchased from Cocoa Village, but it's also one of our two big gifts for the kids this year, and it is a balance bike from Cocoa Village. So I wanted to get the kids a balance bike because now that we are in a bungalow, our house really just goes in a loop, and Vivian often is just running around in circles during the day. And balance bikes are awesome for toddlers because they promote obviously balance, but there's also a lot of benefits that kind of build on the fine motor skills that they're developing. So things like steering, coordination, but also just the confidence to be able to get up on it and ride it around is something that I'm really excited to start instilling in her and in both of our kids. It can also be used outside, so if we want to in the spring get them a helmet and have them start practicing on it outside, that's a nice way that we can kind of intro into them riding bikes actually outdoors in the summer. So we are really looking forward to seeing how it goes. I honestly don't know what she's going to do with it or even know how to use it when she gets it. There's obviously going to be some modeling that will be required on that front, but we are really excited to see their reaction to the balance bike. So the next gift that will be more of a shared gift between both of the kids is a play tent. We're really excited about the play tent because again, it is something that is incredible for pretend play. It can be used to play house. It can be used to create a little pretend storefront. It can also just be a quiet place for your toddler to go and read. And so we're really excited to see the play tent just be something that our kids come back to over the next few years. We are hoping that they'll share a room eventually, so this will go in their bedroom and be kind of just their own little play zone. So the play tent is something that we are really excited to give them this year. This next gift is something that definitely matches an interest that Vivian currently has and kind of pairs with a gift that she's already been given for her birthday, and that is baby doll accessories. Our daughter has a baby doll that she's absolutely loved playing with, especially leading up to the birth of our newborn. And so my mom has actually decided to gift her a little baby doll accessory set that she'll be able to use to practice all of those things that we won't necessarily have her practice on her real life brother yet, but are really great for social development as well. This next gift is one that I am honestly so excited to gift to her. It's one that I kind of waffled on back and forth for a while because the price point was a little bit much for us, but I really do think that it's going to be like an heirloom gift and something that can be passed down after her just because of the quality. And that is a tea set, I think from the brand Moulin Roti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'll put a photo of it here and link it in the description, but it is such a beautiful, just very dainty looking tea set. And again, I thought Vivian would be so interested in something like that right now because she is just loving making coffee and baking cakes and serving them to us. And so to be able to introduce the concept of like a tea party to her, I am really just so excited for. I think like for a girl mom, that's something that a lot of people can relate to. So I am really looking forward to gifting her that tea set this Christmas. This next gift is also very much aligned with her interests right now, and it is the Beehive game from Plan Toys. So both of our kids, and honestly all of our future kids, will obviously share this toy as well. But this toy is amazing for so many reasons. The first reason that it really stuck out to me was for the fine motor skill kind of development aspect of it. So with this game, your child is meant to take little tiny tongs and pick up the little bees and put them into the matching colors. So obviously that is huge for things like coordination, dexterity, but I also love that it incorporates color matching as well. I feel like that's something that's a little bit further than where we are right now, but we'll definitely get there really soon. We're just starting to introduce colors to Vivian, and she's showing more interest in actually appropriately naming them. So I feel like this is kind of two birds with one stone in terms of her education and development. I am really excited to see how this toy goes. I think there might be a little bit of frustration at first because it will be a little bit more of a challenge for her, but we'll definitely grow into it. And because it is a wooden toy, Plan Toys is an incredible brand. We know that we'll have it for all of our future kids as well. All right, so this last gift before I go into some other general gift ideas and then stocking stuffers is a custom backpack. So this is also a gift that's a little bit extra, but I was really excited to give Vivian something to carry more of her things this year because I find that she's getting a little bit more of that independence where she wants to have things that are her own. And when we go places like to church or to a friend's house or to Nana and Papa's, we're starting to notice that she wants to carry more of her own things, whether that is a toy, a book, a bunny, her water bottle, and I am all for making room in the diaper bag. So if she wants to carry her own bag, that is totally fine with me. I waffled back and forth a little bit on something like a tiny purse for her or a backpack, and I landed on a backpack because I feel like it's a lot more practical, probably less likely to get lost, and we can put way more stuff in that. It's very neutral, it's a toddler size, so I think she's just gonna look absolutely adorable walking around with it. And again, this is one of those gifts that I am just like, I'm so excited for Christmas morning to see her open it. I know that it's something that we are going to have her using for many years to come. So that is the final gift on the list of things that we have for her this year. All right, so now that I have gone through the list of things that I'm getting for my 1-year-old, I wanted to also just give you guys another list of recommendations of things that we've noticed have been really huge in her development over the last couple of months, and we know will be really big up until the time that she is 2 or 3 or even beyond. So the first thing that I would recommend if you were looking for a gift for a child that is like 12 to 24 months is a learning tower. I cannot recommend a learning tower enough. It is probably the most used toddler item that we have in our house. Literally every single morning when we wake up, we go into the kitchen together, Vivian goes up in her learning tower and we make breakfast together, and then she eats her breakfast. And it has been such an incredible way to not only bond with my daughter and have other members of our family come over and be able to bond with her in that way as well, but for her to also gain those real life skills of watching how food is prepared and actually helping out in the kitchen. I feel like that's one of the reasons why pretend play started so early with her, was because she was getting so much just involvement in real life activity with us in the learning tower. So we love our learning tower. It is also from Etsy. It folds up really nicely, so we could actually just push it to the side in the kitchen when it's not in use, and it has been just an absolute lifesaver with us in the toddler stage. So that would be my first recommendation, is a toddler learning tower. The next recommendation that I have is a play kitchen. So as I mentioned, this is what we gave to Vivian for her first birthday, and it has been something that she's gradually grown more into over the months have gone by. At first, she kind of played around with it a little bit, would just open the cupboard and play with what was there, but now she's really using the features of the kitchen. So she's turning on the oven and saying that it's hot. She's putting her pots on and telling us that she's mixing and making soup. The IKEA kitchen is genuinely such an affordable way to introduce a play kitchen, even if you want to do that as the main gift or group gift from family. And so that is something that I would really recommend if you have not already introduced a play kitchen to your toddler. My next gift recommendation for this age is a sensory table. So this one is hard because the most affordable version of it has traditionally been sold by IKEA, and I know that it has been out of stock everywhere for months now. So my sister-in-law actually found us one again on Etsy. Check Facebook Marketplace. I know that people are selling them there too, but we have loved our sensory table for many reasons, and that's mostly because it is so multifunctional for us, both inside and outside of the house. So typically the sensory table stays in our playroom and actually has a chair up under it. So Vivian can sit at the sensory table and color. She can do activities. She'll often sit up there and do a puzzle when she's feeling like that. And so it's nice because it really is multi-purpose. And then if we lift the lids off of it, we can actually use it for storage, but also for sensory play. So most of the time I just have craft stuff stored in there so she can lift it off when she's sitting at her table. But I also do empty it often for things like water play, hands-on stuff, things like that. So we use that both inside and outside, obviously when it's nicer. And I feel like it has just been a really great multifunctional way for us to get a lot of focused play out of one item. The next gift idea that I have is a pickler or pickler, however you want to say it, triangle. I feel like we are just more now starting to get into the use of that, because now that it's really cold for us outside here in Canada, Vivian is wanting to move around a lot inside, and to have something that she can do that on in a safe way that is not jumping up and down on the couch is amazing. The one that we have, the actual like wooden piece that extends from it, can be flipped up and down between a ladder and a slide. And so to have that option of like an indoor playground is really incredible for your toddler to be able to move around, to burn off energy, and also just for like gross motor development in general. Pickler triangles are something that can be a lot more expensive, and so I would say to look around Etsy, Facebook Marketplace potentially if you're looking for a more affordable one. Amazon has them as well, but it also may make sense to invest in a nicer one if you know that many kids will be using it and you want it to hold up for many winters inside like we do. Okay, so that is my list of like larger gift ideas for a 1-year-old, just based on the things that we have been using and absolutely loving. And now I want to share a couple of stocking stuffer ideas of things that I have actually purchased for my 1-year-old for Christmas this year. So the first thing is board books. Books are honestly like my #1 go-to when it comes to just gifts in general. You can just keep revisiting and they come alive in a new way every single time. The first one is The Mitten, which is a classic kids book by Pat something. I can't think of the name right now, but I will put it in the description box. And then the next one that I have in her stocking this year is the book called Winter by Gerda Mueller. It's just a really beautiful picture book that you can use as an opportunity to go through and point out what's happening in the different scenes with your toddler. The next stocking stuffer is craft stuff. So things like stickers, crayons. What I've purchased this year is actually bath crayons. So Vivian is just learning now that she is not allowed to color on anything except paper, and I am crazy enough to introduce the bathtub because I feel like it's just going to be a fun way for us to promote that like artistic skill in her, but also have it be, I'm hoping, mess free and something that we can just wipe down afterwards. All right, the final toy and kind of activity thing that I have in her stocking for this year is a bath toy. And bath toys are honestly such great stocking stuffers because they're usually pretty small and generally more affordable. I'll put a photo of it here. It's basically like a little net that comes with these tiny jellyfish looking things that your toddler is meant to try and scoop up up in the tub. So this is a really great way to promote dexterity and have them practice their scooping skills. And I know that Vivian just loves trying to pick things up in the bath all around her, so giving her something like a net, I know is something that she's really going to enjoy using as well. Well, that is everything that I have for my 1-year-old for Christmas this year. I honestly had such a great time kind of thinking through and picking out toys for my daughter this year, not just based on her development, but also just her interest, because I feel like a lot more of that is kind of coming out in her. And even just with Christmas in general, at the age that she is now at 18 months, I feel like she just has so much more of an awareness of like what Christmas is, what the holidays are. I also want to know what you guys are getting for your kids for Christmas this year. I'm always curious to see what other people are getting. I think it's so fun to kind of share. And so if there is something that you are really excited to gift your kids this year, or you are thinking of gifting them, then definitely comment that down below. I'm sure people would love to just see other ideas and recommendations that they can reference too. So again, I hope that you did enjoy this video and it could be a good inspiration to you. And until my next video, I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys, and I will see you soon.
On Christmas, children dreaming without